Perfect, perfect, perfect. Welcome, everybody. As Ronald said, I am Dr. Edwin Magloire, and I'm here for our first monthly business assembly. So this is definitely month one, and hopefully by month 12, we all will be super, super advanced, and we will have had a wonderful year. Personally, this year I like the number 23, and the only thing that it reminded me was the great Michael Jordan, the original GOAT, the original MVP. So I felt like, this is definitely one because I tend to take inspiration from people who, who dominate. I'm not gonna say who have success, but people who dominate the field that they're in. So definitely Jordan, with that number 23 popped in my in my head on December 31st, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This year is the year that I'm going to be the MVP in whatever field that I'm involved in, which is a lot. But so I like to start with motivation because everything that you do starts with the mind. It starts with an idea. It starts with you setting a goal for yourself. So if you say that this year I'm going to be the very best like no one ever was, then you are. So I always start with that. So hopefully this year is going to be the year where you earn your ring, your trophy, even Argentina won. So definitely, I hope all of you will be winners this year. A little bit about Brandpill. Brandpill is a branding agency. We really focus on creating brands and also managing the brands because uh, uh, so having a brand is nice, but you need to be able to manage it in order to make it grow. So we really focus on these two things, providing strategy to a company as well as education, because not all entrepreneurs uh, went to school. Not all entrepreneurs have an MBA. So a lot of people, they just launched a business because they have that core expertise that allows them to create magic. And that was the case for me. I was just a very good graphic designer, a very good medical doctor, a very good, et cetera, et cetera. But I didn't know business necessarily. So what I found out is when I started coaching, especially in Haiti, it's like a lot of entrepreneurs, they are creme de la creme. They have great businesses, great products, great services, but they don't know how to go to the next level. They don't know how to run. I mean, they know how to run the day to day, but they don't know how to run the year to year, the decade to decade to become like real big brands and global brands. And so I studied that. I learned that, and I created Brandpill for that specifically to create competitiveness between uh, 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 like brands that are especially Haitian brands that are whether in the US or in Haiti, but to really create that competitiveness so that they can, really be competitive. So what started as just an agency that created logos, websites, brochures, turned into something else. We created a department called Brandfield University where that knowledge and that education can be given and can be shared. So this is definitely full circle. And that's why I'm a little emotional because Bell Initiative is one of those first um, programs that I ever applied to. So before Bell, I I mean, I can't say that I was, seasoned in entrepreneurship. So this program really helped me become who I am today. And I really want to take the time out to thank Sorel Ketan, Sandra Eljean, and of course Ronald Situt and the whole staff, because this is if you believe that knowledge transfer doesn't work, if you believe that the diaspora being involved in Haiti is not worth it, then I'm the proof that yes, it does, and that your contribution, whether to the Portion Leader or Bell Initiative, definitely amount to things. And I really wanted to say that. Now, let's talk about you. Let's talk about this particular workshop. So it's the Gaki Monthly Business Assembly. The whole point is really to help you master not only the fundamentals of creating, but the most important part is managing the brands that you have and how to grow your businesses. So we're trying to help the entrepreneur to have resources, tools that are proven. I haven't invented anything really. I'm more of a I'm curator. So I gather the knowledge that is already there, the knowledge that is or in a thousand, 20,000 books that I've read, and concepts that I've studied, and then I just put them together and I put that at your service. So the workshops will be virtual and interactive. Here comes that word. So hopefully by the end of this meeting, I will have listened to the voice of everybody on the participants. So now I want to say though that I have created, using the term loosely, uh, a framework called the 4K Entrepreneur, and it's really, like I said, a compilation of the key things that I've came across and that I've researched that, in my opinion and in my experience, make for a great entrepreneur. So for me, a 4K entrepreneur is someone who can connaissance, meaning they know. Um, and there's a lot of things that they're supposed to know, but it starts with knowledge, connaissance, and then next to that there's competence, which is like competency, capacity, meaning this is very different from knowing because you may know something, but you don't know how to apply that. So competency is very different, and some people struggle with that. But an entrepreneur is someone who knows how to do things as well. So competency is, for example, you know how to make a decision. You don't just make a decision based on a whim or because that's what my competitor did, therefore I'm going to do it as well. It doesn't work like that. So there are core competencies that an entrepreneur is supposed to have. Um, and then there's connection, which is basically networking, but not only networking on the business side of things, but like just connect. That's why the word is connection. It's connecting with people. It's connecting with your own staff, your own employees, connecting with your client. And this is, as you can see, like the framework, everything is linked together, and you can just flip that diagram, and you will still have the same shape because you can't really separate the connaissance from the competence or from the connection. It all comes together, right? And then the fourth K is comportement, the behavior, the mindset. And that's why I always start with motivation, because everything starts with the mindset. You can know a lot, you can be able to do a lot of things, and you can, have a very high emotional intelligence. You know how to talk to people, you know how to please them, but your behavior, your mindset, the way you see things, is your handicap. So these four things, when you put them together, I'm not saying that's the only thing you need in life or that's the only thing you need as an entrepreneur, but definitely this is a great foundation, just like houses, they're based on four walls. So this is a great foundation for an entrepreneur to really make sure that. Now, it sounds good, but it doesn't work if it doesn't work. A framework doesn't work if it doesn't work. So I use this framework as a way to make my talks more digestible. So there's a section where I talk about something that you need to know. And then there's another section where I talk about something that you need to do in order to increase your networking power, etc. Same as connection or anything else. So I really use that as a way to frame them. So connaissance is knowledge, competence is competency, connection is connection, and comportement is behavior. So just in case there are people who are not Creole friendly. So let's start with behavior, because like I said, everything starts with the mindset. We are in how would I say that? Those past years, COVID flipped everything on its head. COVID made all the textbooks about business and about marketing just fly off, like, because okay, none of that matters anymore. Your business models became obsolete. Like channels, yeah, we have that brick and mortar business and everybody will come to it and then we'll sell. That didn't happen in COVID-19. And the problem is people got different habits. So during that time when everybody said, uh, you know what, you can just go back to work and go back to church, some people never went back. Some people started, like, had habits, and they started creating alternatives at home and online, which makes business as usual never like it will never be as usual as again. So it's a whole different framework, a whole different mindset that you guys have to evolve in, especially in the US. Now, it means that our mindset also needs to change. The I have 1,000 years of experience of running my business in a way, and then I have to keep running it this way. This mindset needs to go away. Um, Habit, routine needs to go away because new tools are coming. Every day there's a new tool, and I'm not saying jump on every new tool. I don't do that, and I don't advise like in jumping on a tool just because it's new. But some tools that are new, like, really can change your business's bottom line like overnight. So it really makes sense for us to be open-minded in this journey. So now from 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, these changes became set in stone a little bit, and some new changes came around. So now we're in 2023, and we're kind of like at a crossroads. Do I keep doing what I used to do in 2022 that was working a little bit? Or do I need to change the way I'm seeing things? Do I need to change the behavior? So Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, of course, one of the biggest companies on the planet, probably in the solar system, uh, had an open letter that he sent to his employees. And they asked him about that letter in an interview. So I will read that excerpt for you, and I will put it in context. They asked Jeff, okay, so what does day 2 look like? And keep in mind that for me, day 1 is month 1. Day 1 is January. Actually, day 1 for me was December 31st when I told myself I'm going to conquer this year. So they asked him, what is day 2? So I'm just going to read now. That's a question I just got at our recent All Ends meeting. I've been reminding people that it's day 1 for a couple of decades. I work in an Amazon building named Day 1. And when I moved buildings, I took the name with me. I spent time thinking about this topic. Day 2 is stasis, followed by irrelevance, followed by excruciating, painful decline, followed by death. And that is why it's always day 1. To be sure, this kind of decline would happen in extreme slow motion. An established company might harvest day 2 for decades, but the final result would still come. I'm interested in the question, how do you fend off day 2? What are the techniques and tactics? How do you keep the vitality of day 1 even inside a large organization? Such a question can't have a simple answer, nor a one-size-fits-all answer. There will be many elements, multiple paths, and many traps. I don't know the whole answer, but I may know bits of it. Here's a starter pack of essentials for day 1. Defense. Customer obsession, a skeptical view of proxies, the eager adoption of external trends, and high velocity decision making. So that's just an example of what Jeff was talking about. In other words, don't get familiar. Don't get comfortable in running your businesses the same way you've been running your businesses when you launch your businesses. It's always day one, meaning it's always time to introduce something new. It's always an opportunity to learn something new about your client. It's always an opportunity to try a different marketing approach. It's always an opportunity. In other words, all the companies that get comfortable, the only destination for this company is to die. You started your business with one client, and then now you have 50 clients, and you're comfortable. You're like, yeah, I got 50 clients. I mean, I only have 24 hours in a day. It's not like I can expend that. And you're just comfortable making that same amount of money month after month. That is day two. And day two ends with death. The day one approach is the same hunger you had when you first started. The reason why you started. Day one is, I'm going to conquer the world. So there's always improvement around the corner. And I have written these 4 bars about 2023. And this is also what I would recommend that you guys do in terms of behavior, in terms of mindset. How should you consider this year? We're almost at the end of 2023. Only around 12 months left. If you've been in business, you know months are nothing. 12 months is nothing in a business lifetime. So we're almost at the end of 2023, almost around 12 months left. Business rapidly turns to busyness when left unchecked. If you want more out of this year than to get some checks, leverage strategy and branding to make it the best one yet. That's really the mindset that you should have. Like, I don't know, I don't care about how 2022 was, 2021, how much I lost, how much I had to adapt. That's the game. That's the game that we're playing. The game of business is a game of adaptation, of constant renewal, constant branding and rebranding, of reinventing yourself. So it's really important to keep in mind that it's always day one, and it should always be day one. So before I move to the next section, this is where it gets interactive. I would like to hear from, let me see, how many participants? Only 10. Okay. I would like to hear from all of you about behavior. So I'm gonna give you a little format. You unmute, and I will call your name. You unmute, you present yourself, you state your name, and you say a sentence about yourself, about how you're considering this new year, 2023. Simple as that. So I don't know if it's alphabetical order, but the first person that I'm seeing in my list is Laurie. So can Laurie please unmute?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes, I'm Lori. And you're asking for me to, I don't know
I'm asking
what
for
I'm
you to
supposed to do.
tell me how are you appreciating 2023? How do you see it? What do you plan on doing this year as an entrepreneur?
Well, I see it as an opportunity since I just started my business about 3 months. I can learn and how I can implement the things that I learned to help grow my business. So I see it as an opportunity because I feel like I just started. So
Okay, okay, that's good. But I mean, because you just started, do you feel like um the level your performance is going to depend on the amount of years because you first started, like, because let's talk about athleticism for a second. when Leo Messi, the soccer
Mm-hmm.
player first started, he dominated.
Mm-hmm.
So do
Mm-hmm.
you see yourself like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so new to this thing that I cannot be as effective, or like I can't have a market leading brand, or what is it exactly?
No, I don't see it as that I can't. I see it as I am trying to take in as much as I can, like reading, I'm trying to learn as much as I can so that I can put myself in a good position to be able
Perfect.
to, grow.
So you in a learning
Mm-hmm.
mode. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord. Next, I have Pedro.
Yep, that's me. Can you
So
hear me?
can you state your name and tell us how you're seeing 2023, what you're gonna do?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Pedro. In terms of 2023, I want to say this time around, I want to be a little bit more proactive, uh, a lot more action, because it's always good. It's good to like sit there and read and soak up as much knowledge, but it's only if it's not applied, what are you really doing with it essentially? So uh it's one of those things where it's like, and you can't be scared to like fall forward, like to fall, as long as you got the intentions of getting right back up, and then you learning from your mistakes. So I think for me for 2023, like just me coming on here as well too, is me taking like a step forward as well too, to trying to be a little bit more proactive and trying to get more involved. So who knows, just keep my head down and keep pounding until the time I look up, I'll be a lot further than where I was this time last year, essentially.
Perfect, Pedro. If I may add, if I may add, this is a action year, but it's also an action game. You don't become an entrepreneur by reading about entrepreneurship. You don't become anything by reading about it. Um, uh, I could take any type of example. I can personally, I could read all the dance books ever written in the world. If I don't get on the dance floor and start moving, I will not be a dancer. And I love that she said that. I need to be more proactive because we hesitate too much. And the people who are succeeding are not people who are smarter, richer, more like they just did it. They just did it. And that's why I like one of my favorite brands is Nike, and their motto is just do it. Um, they just did it. And what happens is they failed at first. But guess what? In business, the like failure is better than anything. Failure is better than day two, by the way. Because when you fail, then you can try again with with more knowledge of what to do and what not to do. So it is definitely I'm always using sports analogies. Not that I even practice sports, but it's really like when it's leg day, it's leg day. You're not gonna go squats if you're just watching people doing it. You have to get into the gym and just do what you gotta do. So definitely, thank you, Pedro. And then we have Boaz.
Yes, good evening. My name is Boaz, and
Boaz.
yes, for 2023, yeah, I'm looking, like Pedro said, I'm looking to be more proactive, and I'm looking to take a little bit more risk, uh, because I'm in the real estate field, so I also do IT work, but I'm looking to do more. I'm looking to take more risks and learn more about the real estate. So I'm trying to,
Sounds perfect.
yeah.
I know real estate is very competitive where you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, looking forward to hear your ideas about how you're gonna really make this happen for you. I have a few ideas. I have a few ideas for you. But anyways,
Yeah.
okay, and then we have Dash Dash C. That's a nice name. Oh, the person probably doesn't know we're referring to her as Dash Dash C. Uh, it's how do I? It's just the C and like, yeah. Anyways, okay. So in the can we go to Joanne then? Could it be Joanne Gauthier?
Yes, that's me.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So tell
Um,
us.
Hi everybody. So Pedro and Boaz literally said what I was gonna say. Um, so I'll just repeat it, but I feel excited about this year. I feel like this year is all about making decisions and taking risks and just learning from people who know more than I do. Being more proactive, as you know, I need help with that, and staying focused on actually working my business and just taking more action with it, because I'm easily distracted, like I'm doing too much. So I need to just, stay focused on what I need to stay focused on and then make a decision and then action.
Perfect. Perfect. And then we have Gigi.
Hello? Y'all hear me?
We can hear you, Gigi.
Oh, good. Good evening, everybody. I am Gigi. I appreciate the discussion. I think there's been some good points that have been raised. For me, when I think about 2023 and what I see in terms of entrepreneurship, which is a newer space for me, the word that has kind of surfaced as my word for the year is alignment. And so I'm someone who does work in the wellness space. I'm a health provider who's now taken my skills into the entrepreneurship space. And a lot of that for me is informed by sort of a spiritual lens. I really do believe that we all come with unique gifts that can serve the world and that we all have our own kind of niche in our own market. And so sometimes I think we can get really busy running, but sometimes what we need to do is get still and allow the universe to position us exactly in the lane we need to be. And so that's kind of what's sitting on my spirit for this year, is kind of getting to the place where flow and alignment starts to move, and that I'm not sort of the wheel turning in the mud kind of a thing, doing busy work, but really going inward to produce more outward, if that makes sense. So that's
Perfect.
kind of where I am.
Gigi, do you, by any chance, do you know of the word ikigai?
Ikigai. It sounds vaguely familiar. Japanese something?
Yeah, it's Japanese. I definitely recommend you to look for the diagram. It's literally a Venn diagram of multiple elements, and then that's at the center, like where everything intersects really is your purpose, is what you need to do to be fulfilled, to be rich, to be like everything put together, like the best place that you can be as a person. And when you speak, I can already hear that you always you have a holistic approach.
Yes.
So you wouldn't really you wouldn't really be effective in the healthcare system of the United States per se, because you feel like there's a little bit more to the human person than just their bodies and medications and stuff.
There's a
So
whole lot more.
yeah, so figuring out your ikigai. I mean, there are different steps, and I think like this is going to be very beneficial for you. And you can, because most of the time people uh, by the way, when I say people like you, I mean me. I have the same view, and the most difficult part is how do we make money out of this, right?
Mhm.
So yes, we know, and yes, it's valuable. It's actually more valuable than anything. But will people pay for that? And how is that, like, how am I going to make money with it? So this is one of the difficulties. So finding the ikigai, going through the process, going through the journey of finding it is going to clarify things for you.
I appreciate that. I'll look into it.
All right. And then we have Natalie Perrault.
Yes, hi, I'm Natalie. I'm in the cleaning industry. I started this year, 2023, being very positive with the mindset that this year I need to take action to improve sales, to promote my new service. So that's the goal, being very positive and very motivated.
Quick question, Natalie. Have you started doing that?
Well, at the beginning, yes, and then starting
No,
last year,
I mean,
I've
it's
been
only
in the
4 days.
business.
I mean, in 2023. You
Yes,
said
I have.
you
I'm
started
here
this year
now.
being motivated and wanting to communicate more about your services. Did you start?
Yes, I'm here now. That's another way that where I want to be present and gather all the tools to make things happen.
Perfect. Perfect. I like that. Okay. So, well, only dash dash C. Um, we don't know about dash dash C. So we're gonna leave dash dash C be. But anyways, so thank you. I'm very um pleased to have listened to everybody's voices. I think I have a little bit of an idea of the businesses that you guys are in and at what stage that you guys are. So I will end the section about behavior and mindset by telling you that winners are winners. Like it's a, how do I say that? It's a stamp. They don't become winners once they win that trophy, once they get that medal. They already are. Therefore, they put their best foot hand forward to actually reach that. So for me personally, it starts with mindset. And I have a lot of setbacks. I have a lot of shortcomings, definitely. But one of the first things I do in the morning is like I put myself in the like I think I'm Mike Tyson and I need to knock out my opponent, and my opponent is my yesterday self. My opponent is not, I don't even think about my competition when I'm motivating myself. That comes later. But I think my actual competition is the person I was yesterday, is the person that had a deadline and didn't meet it, is the person that told that woke up and said, you know what, I'll do it next week. And then when the next week came, they still didn't do it. Right. So for those of you who have a little bit of procrastination, that's fine. I'm a huge procrastinator, but what I did is I put my procrastinator self in a cage. I did not kill it. I'm never gonna pretend that I'm gonna stop being a procrastinator. I know deep down on that I am. But what I did is, okay, how do I put you in a cage? How do I figure out tools and other ways to motivate me? Do I need an accountability system? Do I need to tell my friend or my family or my business partner that I want to be able to do that by February? And because I told them, then oops, I can't have an I can't have an excuse because I will lose face. And I'm the person who doesn't like to lose faith. So what I do is I use the same traits that I have. It's still Edwin. I use a positive one to knock out a negative one. And because I know I hate losing face, then I walk around telling people that, yeah, by February, I'm going to do this. And that puts me in a position where I have to. Some other people, like some people use apps, productivity apps, where they wake up in the morning, they have an agenda. So there are many multiple ways, but no way will help if it doesn't start with a decision, if it doesn't start with you saying, well, 2023 is going to be my Michael Jordan year. So that is it for that part. Now, knowledge. The one thing that you need to know in entrepreneurship is where your keys are. Like people are always looking for the keys and they can't find them. Well, if you know where your keys are in entrepreneurship, then you're a success. You need to know what are what are the keys to growth? What creates growth? If you know that, then you will grow. You need to know what creates competitiveness. You know that, then you'll be competitive. Like that action that I haven't been taking for years. Why why can't I move? Why can't I move forward? Why can't I do things? Because you don't know where your key's at. You don't know what the key to action is. So of course, I'm starting with these 3 keys, and there are multiple keys, 1,000 keys. I don't know if you've seen Matrix, like almost like the key maker. There are thousands of keys, but you need to know how to do things. Like, how do I grow? What is the key to growth? What is the key to competitiveness? What is the key to action? So I will share with you. The keys to growth is by managing your customers. And by managing, I mean you need to find them, nurture them, and then convert them to make them buy. And this is a little bit tricky. A lot of people think they're my customers because they bought. No, that's not like, and that's why I like using some Creole words, because they depict stuff better. In Haiti, a client is only really a poiti of someone who buys from you over and over again. That person is subscribed for you, and that's because in Haiti, the person selling, I don't know, eggplants and legumes and stuff, that person will actually visit you at your house and tell you, hey, you want some? And they give you discounts, and they know you on your first name basis, and their kid's name on a first name basis. You ask like, so it creates a relationship, and they will come every week, and you know them, you recognize them, right? So that is a client. Someone who buys from you once and never comes again, and you don't know anything about them. You don't know where they live. You don't know what their age. You don't know. You have zero knowledge of them. They're not your clients. And they need to know things about you as well. Like nothing is, one-sided. And that's why a lot of the issues entrepreneurs come across is, I'm shy. Does that mean I can't be an entrepreneur? You can. You're not going to be a very successful one if you're shy, unless you find a way to cage the shy you. So, because you need to be able to know a lot about your client. That's how you nurture them. Actually, before you nurture them, you need to find them. So you need to know where to find them. The first thing to know is, where do I find my clients? Where do they hang out? What type of movies? Are they Marvel or DC? Who are these people? What age range do they have? What is their income? Do they even have disposable income? Am I targeting the right person? And I always take that example. I have clients telling me, Edwin, this is not expensive enough. Here's resend me that quote or that invoice, and add a little bit to it, right? And before that, I had clients, that would tell me, you're too expensive. So now, thank God, I'm in a situation where I'm with my ideal clients. So one of the biggest mistakes when I'm judging a pitch competition and I'm asking someone, who are you solving your problem for? And their answer is everyone, kids, everyone can use my product. Anyone can use my service. I'm no longer interested, because you don't have a business. Because when you're targeting everybody, you're not targeting anyone. I like the word target, and I always visualize, I have a quiver full of arrow. Actually, no, I have a quiver. There's only one arrow left, and I need to know where to put it. That's what targeting means. So I need to know the person. I can't be for everybody, because if I'm for everybody, and I only had that one marketing dollar left, and I spend it, and boom, I lose it because that client wasn't interested. So knowing who my customer is, and knowing and when I say is, what I really mean is knowing who I want my customer to be, because that part comes with design as well. You need to design who you're creating your business and service for. So you know who your customer is. So if, for example, there's this guy only has $5 of disposable income. And then there's this other guy who has thousands of dollars of disposable income. Who do you think you should target? Not the $5 guy. So you need to have a customer-centric approach. And that's the key to, I have it, it's not on the slide, but that's the actual key to being a successful business. Don't be product and service centric. People who are product and service centric, there's like, oh, I have this phone. Now I need to figure out how to sell it to people. That's being product centric. The phone is at the center of everything. The person who's customer centric is, I want to become rich. I wonder, what do people want? What do people need? So they do research and then they find out, oh, these people actually want a phone. So let me go and build a phone. So they build the phone and they know it's going to work because they built it, it's tailor-made for their customer. Now, why aren't there, like, if it's that simple, why isn't everybody a millionaire? It's because, well, you're not the only person who can do a phone, right? So way back when business like first started, and then, there was no technology. And so, yeah, it was easy for anyone to just be, well, I'm the only doctor on the block. Therefore, I'm going to be rich and stuff. But nowadays, everybody can just create a TikTok account and be like, yeah, I'm a business. What do you mean? You just opened a TikTok account. You have no this, no that, no this, no that. But yeah, I'm a business. So your competition is always lurking, right? So when you create that phone for your customer, you need to make sure that your phone is unique. Your phone is branded and your phone feels different, even though it's still just a phone, but it feels different. And that's why if you focus on just the basics, like it's a phone, you can place calls, blah, blah, blah. So if you focus on functionality, you're not gonna survive. You have to focus on emotions. What are the emotional benefits of buying your service or product? What are the I would say, and that's like Coca-Cola or Apple, right? Like someone who buys an iPhone doesn't buy an iPhone just to buy an iPhone. They buy the iPhone because they don't want to be part of the Android crowd. They want to be able to say, I have an iPhone and I will never buy an Android, because it gives them that status illusion, but it works. So you have to go beyond functionality. And in order to do that, you need to know your client. What floats their boat? What makes them work? So you can't grow if you don't know where your customer is. If you can't nurture them, meaning you don't just meet, it's just like a relationship. You don't meet someone and be like, hey, marry me. That's the sales pitch, right? You meet someone and you're like, please buy my phone. You don't do that. You meet them, you learn about them. How are you? What do you like? How was 2019 for you? Et cetera, et cetera. And then you find out that you can create a relationship with that person. And then you be like, hey, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you. You know how I know it's the perfect solution for you? Because I made it for you with you in mind. And then all that nurturing will lead to the sale. So the key to growth is really customer management, capturing them, nurturing them, and converting them. And in order to do that, you need to always be creating value. And that's why it's always day one. If the same product you had 5 years ago is the same product, the same service, same package, same this and that you had 5 years ago, you're already in day two and you're going towards your death. RIP. What is the key to competitiveness? Customer captivity. You need to be able to, oh my God, not only get customers, but keep them. And the way you do that is you design an experience for them that makes them happy. And I always say that. Well, I had a session on branding, and I was like, what makes a brand good? When do you know that you have good branding? And people started saying, well, when you have a good logo, your website is this and your website is that. You have good branding when people are happy after they bought something from you. That's it. It's as simple as that. If the person buys and they start complaining like, oh my God, this cost me a arm and a leg, then you don't have good branding. Good branding is when you send the invoice and the person is like, oh my God, thank you. You saved my life. Or it was so good for the people who are in the food industry. Like it was so good. Like, they're not thinking about the price. That's good branding. So Coca-Cola, you turn your head, on the left, you turn it to the right, you will find a Coke bottle. So that's also part of the experience design. They're in front of you. They created all these elements to increase their customer captivity. They even put a little bit of caffeine in it, just to make you a little bit addicted to it, right? So the shape of the bottle is you like touching it. So they put all these elements that they put is just to increase their customer captivity. And the bigger their customer captivity, then the more competitive that they are. But at the end of the day, it's just soda, right? This is cola. But it's nothing is like Coke. They even gave themselves that little nickname, Coke. You don't, like Natalie, she probably has friends that call her Nat. So it's the same thing, they create that relationship, like they become your friends, right? And that is the key to action. The reason why you're not taking action is because you don't know what to do. And the reason why you don't know what to do is because you don't know who your customers are. And when you do customer discovery or customer research, and whenever I say that, people think, oh, market research, that expensive thing. Yes, but there are cheaper and sometimes more effective ways of doing market research. Interviews, just talking to people. That gives you the best data possible. And when you think about it, data is the future of business. That's why Facebook is literally every second trying to learn something new about you. All those quiz scores, like games, they're not games. Each and every one of them is designed to get one piece of data on you, right? Your favorite color, your zodiac sign or whatever. So you may think that those answers have nothing to do with anything, but yeah. So think about it. Your best friend is the person who knows you the most, and possibly the person that you know the most. You know their favorite color, you know their first experience, what type of music they like, how do they like to dress, etc., etc. So that way, your best friend most of the time is the person that gives you the best gifts. And that's what big businesses are trying to do. Amazon is trying to be your best friend, but not really. But they just need to have enough information on you to be your best friend. Facebook, WhatsApp, Amazon, Instagram, that's who you need to become. But of course, you don't have the algorithms and all those technological tools to help you do that. You have your smile and your conversational skills. So when you meet a patient, a client, whoever, that just came from the competition or that just purchased something, don't just be like, thank you very much, see you next time. Ask questions. When was the last time you did this? Why did you do that? How? Etc. Learn how your client thinks. When you know how your client thinks, then you can create value. That's how you grow. Because you can always come up with something new for them. You know, like you talking to her, like she just came to buy some, I don't know, some ice cream, right? But you talking to her and she's like, yeah, I hate the fact that I have to leave my kids at home. And then all you have to do is, you know, put a little something inside the business where they can bring their children. And that creates that, you know, that warmth, that connection. And they feel like, you know what? I want to buy from you all the time. I don't ever want to go anywhere else. That's what it's about. So knowing your keys, and this is just 3 examples because this is only month 1, but this is just 3 examples of keys. Understand where growth comes from. Understand where competitiveness comes from. Understand where action comes from. Understand where good reviews come from. And then you can get them because you have the keys. So before we move to the next session, we're going to do the same exercise. And this time, apparently the order changed. Now Pedro is first. So Pedro, what we're going to do is you're going to tell me what business you have or you're trying to create, and what keys are you 100% sure that you have already.
Okay. Sorry. So, one business that I'm trying to get back into is kind of like what Boaz was kind of mentioning was real estate, because I was doing it when I stayed down in Florida. So I'm trying to get back into that. So in terms of keys that I have, for sure that I know, damn, I'm sorry, is essentially key to action in terms of customer discovery and research. So I kind of got an idea of, you know, what my particular niche is, but like I mentioned early on, like things are always changing, or due to the pandemic, you know, what we thought used to be like, okay, these are like the these are like the building blocks, which were like tried and true methods, no longer kind of like applies the same. So essentially, it's kind of like you're always evolving. You always got to know something new, what's going on with, you know, the people around you. Just like, you know, before it used to be baby boomers, and then it was millennials. Now you got Gen Z. So you got to like tailor. You got to know exactly what exactly is the, I guess, the pressure points of the things that would attract them for the most part. So all those goes into data gathering, which I feel like is one of the 3 keys mentioned that I actually like I truly believe that I could hone into, and, you know, use that to, like, you know, possibly put me in a good path of acquiring the other 2 keys.
Perfect. Well, if I may add, because you had that key once, you will always have it, because the same way you gather that information, you know, the people may change their minds or the people may change altogether, but you have the knowledge, you know how to gather information. So that's, you know, you just rinse and repeat. Just know that, okay, well, I had it, the information is shifting. I just need to have a repeatable, emphasis on repeatable process that can give me that information. Like no business exists, survives, thrives without having a system to gather data. So I'm glad that you had that, and that's what I said. It's the beginning. So you just need to redo it again. Perfect. Thanks a lot. So Boaz.
Sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. So you already mentioned the business. I think it's still real estate.
Yeah, that's a side hustle. Yeah, I'm trying to get I'm trying to
So
focus.
what key are you sure that you already have?
None.
Right. That's perfect. You know what? Let me tell you why you have the advantage over someone who would have all 3 keys, for example. Because Now you understand that, hey, I don't have any of those keys, and you already know that you need to start gathering them. So in other words, you're gonna be more thorough. You're gonna say, because most of the people who got the keys, they didn't necessarily understand the framework or anything. They just, happen to have them. But now you need to write those down and say, okay, so I need to start gathering information. Who are my clients? I need to segment them, not by age, 35 to 60 something. No, I need to segment them into income, favorite color, obstacles, pain points, etc., etc. So you're gonna do it a little bit more methodically than anybody else. All right, you start gathering, and if you don't know how to do customer discovery, I can send you a few resources. But it's really interviews without closed questions where people can tell you yes, no, or without leading questions. It's really about listening more. So you're really asking open-ended questions, like, what's the most difficult part of your day? What's the most difficult part of your year? I mean, since you're in real estate, what's the most difficult part of your year? And then you start taking those notes, and then you're like, how could I combine that that thing that I already have, that product, that service that I already have, and create a pain reliever for these people? So once you have a pain reliever, you automatically, because I know real estate is very competitive. I know a lot of people already doing real estate in Atlanta. So one of the biggest, like one of your greatest assets really is to be different, to be distinct, to create a way. And like I said, I have ideas, but to create a way to make the experiences so different. Like, for example, if you're bringing a client like to visit a few houses, like that's what everybody else does, right? But if you can create a different experience, yes, they're visiting houses, but you add in a little bit of something to it, and then the experience is so, like, I don't know, immersive. Because like I said, storytelling is our real language. We don't speak English, French, Creole, or anything. Like, humanity speaks storytelling. So if you can create a story for the people, for your customers who are, visiting the houses and etc., and then you can capture that story by a picture or a little video, I don't know, and then you send that to them, I can guarantee you that's going to increase your chances of selling that house. But that's just one example that I just, came like, um, like top of the brain. But really the important thing is create processes to gather data, create processes to understand what's going to make my customers stay. And that's customer captivity, right? I said, for example, Coke, they had the caffeine, right? It's not like you don't necessarily find it, but they increase it. Like, right? Okay, so yeah, we know if they drink it, they're gonna get a little bit addicted. They add the bottle, they etc. They started with that campaign where they write the name of the people, etc. So all of this is just to increase their customer captivity. So you need to ask yourself, okay, every real estate agent gets people to visit houses. So what's gonna make me different? What am I gonna add? What am I gonna sprinkle on the experience to, increase my customer captivity? So that's one thing. Like for the growth, same thing. Where are they? Where do I find them? How do I know where these people who are going to transition, change houses, buy houses, etc., create, like, buy their first home? Where are they? So you create a process to know where they are, to target them exactly where they are, etc., etc. So perfect. Joanne.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to narrow everything down. I don't have any keys, but the businesses that I'm looking at for sure, education, publishing books, investing in property, and then lately I've been thinking about starting a meal prepping situation. Like I said, I don't know what my keys are. And the
Yeah, but
earlier
that's because you have so many houses.
I Oh, and later, earlier you said that we're not taking action because we don't know where to start. That's exactly like me. That is why I'm not taking action, because I really don't know
Okay, this is
where.
your homework. This is your homework. I need you to take a piece of paper to write all your businesses ventures possible, right? And you're gonna put them in little columns. Put little columns next to them. One column should be revenue. So if you do your meal prep thing, how much money is that gonna give you per month? If you do your education thing, how much money is that gonna bring you per month? Et cetera, et cetera. So in that column, I mean, you list all your businesses and you have a revenue column. Like, so, that's it. And then like, energy wise, how much energy is it gonna cost you to do that meal prep thing, right? Let's say you have a bunch of keto customers, and then you have to serve all of them, and then let's say you already say you think about a lot of things at the same time. You're not probably, I'm not saying, but probably you're not really that organized. I mean, you could start, and then you have 50 clients all overnight, and then boom, you get. So think about the energy, how much energy this running this business is going to cost me. So you write that down, and then you put a little, like, for example, the same way you put the revenue next to meal prep, you could put, I don't know, from 0 to 10, you could put 9. I would put a 12 level of energy expenditure. Whereas next to the education or the publishing book, you could put a 7, or for example. And then you decide of your own criteria, Joanne. Because I'm thinking about the revenue first, and then probably because I'm lazy, I'm saying, isn't meal prep very energy consuming? But maybe you have different criteria. So, and hopefully this is something that we can go over. Decision-making matrix. Entrepreneurs don't make decisions randomly. They create decision matrices. So they have their different options, different criteria, and they score the different criterias. Like how much time is it gonna, like, that's another factor. I would definitely put that time. How much time is it gonna take you to actually build that business? If you're talking about publishing, if you're talking about the meal prep, like, so in other words, which one can you start as soon as possible? That's gonna bring you as much money as possible, and that's gonna bring you as much personal satisfaction as possible. So that could be another column that you put, like personal satisfaction, right? So, and then you're gonna compare, you're gonna score, and then you're gonna actually, add those numbers together, and you're gonna see which business you should start with, right? And that's kind of close to what I was telling Gigi. I know she left, but that's her ikigai. Your ikigai is the thing that you can do, you know how to do, you're an expert at. But let's say I play the flute, expert level, but no one wants to pay me to play the flute, then I don't want to do that business. So I need to be an expert in it, and people are willing to pay for it, and I enjoy doing it. That's a third factor. And then there's a fourth one that I'm not remembering right now. But all these four things together, I'm passionate about it. Yeah, I'm passionate about it. So all these things together tells me what I need to be doing. Because I could, like, for example, maybe meal prepping would bring you more money than anything else, right? So in that criteria, in that column, like, it has the highest score. But maybe it doesn't float your boat that much. Maybe you don't even like to cook. So why would you do sign yourself up to do something every day and you're not really, enjoying it? So I think you should do a decision matrix, and you should give yourself this week to decide on which business you're gonna launch, because you're not gonna be able to nurture all 3, 5 of them. Like, start with one, like get it running, and then you can start a second, like third, fourth. There is a something called a serial entrepreneur, and that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can, like, it's one, right? It's really one.
Thank you.
All right. So Natalie.
Yes. I think I could say I'm the key to growth, but there's
Mhm.
still room for improvement. And the other two, not really.
Okay. So quick question. And what business was that again, Natalie?
Cleaning.
Okay, cleaning. Okay. So okay, I can understand why you have. So are you restricted to a specific area, or do you want to take over the work?
I want to take over the world.
Okay, so you're thinking of opening, like, how does it work? Do you go to brick and mortars, and then you clean them? Like, how does that go exactly?
Well, that's exactly what I do. I do have a website where I look for customers, and I
Mhm.
pretty much see what I want, and if I want it, I go for it, and
Okay,
then I go to the customers. So pretty much that's the way it works. And I clean. I do mostly commercial. I don't do residential.
okay. So do you have a cap, I would say? Do you like do you have a number, like you know that when you reach it, you won't be able to service anymore?
No,
So
I don't.
you really can like go all out. Like,
Yes, I can.
that's good. That's because that's another thing we need to talk about. If your business can scale, then you're in business. If you're restricted to your 12 hours or 24 hours per day, then it's a problem. If you're restricted to your location, like you can only service a specific area, then it's a problem. Like, for example, Natalie, like there's basically no cap. So I assume your staff is, they're not necessarily employees, you can just subcontract, right?
Yes, they are
Yeah. So
subcontract.
you get the client, and then you reach out to them. That's perfect. That's a good model. So I know that's not what we're talking about here, but I'm a little excited. What is your what area in your business do you feel is not working?
I need to be out there. I'm not. I need to be more present on social media. I just recently started with the carpet business, so I need to be out there. I need to let people know that I'm doing that as well. So it's being present. That's the thing.
Yeah. So brand awareness. You want to increase
Yes.
your brand awareness.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's talk. Okay. So Lori.
Hi, okay, so my business is a Haitian market. I think the keys that we have right now are the key to action, customer discovery, because before we started the business, we actually gathered information about what type of products our customers wanted. And
Mhm.
so I think we definitely have that. And we have customer captivity, like key to competitiveness, because most of our customers, they are repeat buyers. So, and they usually come back and we get a lot of reviews, good reviews about our products.
Great, great,
So right
great.
now, I think we don't really have the key to growth though, because I really don't know how to draw in more customers right now. So that's
So
what
you're it's a brick and mortar, right?
it's a brick and mortar, and also we sell online. That's
Perfect. So in terms of walk-ins, how many walk-ins do you get per day, for example?
we don't really get that many walk-ins. So that's what we're trying to work on. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
mhm.
mean, I feel like you have, yeah, like you said, you have two keys, but I feel like the most important one, you it's either two things. It's either when the people come, they are satisfied but not elated enough so that they would, do that word of mouth for you and be like, yo, you really need to check out Laurie's place. Or
Mhm.
there's no brand awareness, like they don't know. that they can come here and etc. So don't you, since it's brick and mortar, do you have other Haitian
Mhm.
markets in your area?
We don't have really other Haitian markets, but there's a Haitian restaurant, and did inform them that we were in the area, so they know about us as well. So, but there's not really any other Haitian markets. So,
Yeah, so technically speaking, you have a lot of cards in your hands to really make it work. So it's really about
Mhm.
brand awareness. Are you on social media?
Mhm. Yeah, we are. We're on Facebook, and we also have a website as well, and we're also on TikToks.
That should work. I mean, now it's just a matter of having the right strategy to actually, because
Mhm.
you know who the customers are. And I mean, look, it's really easy to target on social media, to target people in one area. So if you know
Mhm.
that geographically that you don't really have competition, so it's really easy to target them. So yeah, we can talk further about that.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so and then okay, so dash C left. So this is for the slide of knowing. If you know where the keys are, then you know what to go after. I already have action, therefore I need to figure out how to grow. I know how to grow, therefore I need to figure out how to be a little bit more competitive. What can I, because for example, if you only have 2 people walking into your store, it doesn't really make sense for you to really invest in customer captivity because you don't have enough people. It's like, okay, let's take the example of social media. If you only have 2 people following you, it doesn't really make sense for you to invest in a blockbuster commercial because only 2 people are going to see it, unless of course you do paid advertisement. So the important is gather first enough people. So it's really important to, like that growth part, getting enough clients. It's mandatory when you're starting. Like, let's get enough clients, because if you don't have enough clients, you can't even really do research. You can't really gather data because the sample is not representative enough because only 5 people told you that your product was good. So you need to talk to as many people as possible, get them to try, get them to taste. And if you're in a business where it's a food and beverage, most of the time is create samples and get them to stand in front of markets and whatever and get people to try. But it goes with your service or products as well. Start creating trials, start creating free trials, like create giveaways so that, hey, you can win this and you can win that. It's for free, and just so that more people can discover you. And that goes for all of you, is really because there is a way to start that sales funnel, that marketing funnel. But for now, we're just learning that these keys exist, and then we will go through the competency further down the line. So I just wanted to give a little bit more detail about that growth, because Brandpill's tagline is grow for good. I see a lot of businesses growing, but they're not growing for good. So growth is really 2 things: getting more clients, which is hard sometimes. Customer acquisition cost is expensive nowadays, especially if you're using social media only as your way of getting new clients. But you can also grow by getting more profit from our clients. So that pool, and when I say client, I don't mean someone who bought once. I mean people that you have direct relationship with. You have their email addresses, you have their phone number, etc. You can get them to buy more from you. You can, now we're talking about upselling, cross-selling, etc. So the most important part is knowing that getting a pool of client that you can nurture is really mandatory. And also growth needs to create momentum. All like investors call that traction. That's one of the first thing they ask you, like, tell us about your traction. So if in January you had 3 clients, in February you had 3 clients, that's not growth. people need to see that the curve is rising. I mean, it happens. It can fall down. Like, for example, I mean, we're seeing January 3, February 4, March 7, April 6. So April is one client down from March, right? But the tendency of the curve, people will still say that it's rising, even though it had a little deep somewhere. So traction is really showing that you're doing more than you were doing, consistently doing that. If in your business the numbers are fluctuating up and down, there's a problem. It needs to keep growing. Like, if the whole year, let's take the whole year. If 2022 you had 300 patients, and then 2021 you had more, that's a problem. Because you need to be able to understand that, hey, is my business growing or is it not? So the day one mentality comes together here. The profit is really, there's an equation for it. How do you know? So it's the average price minus average cost, and then multiplied by quantity sold. So, because it's an equation and there's only three components, three elements, then growth can only come from those three places. So you either increase your prices, you're going to make more money, or you decrease your costs, you're going to make more money, or you increase the sales. But notice that it doesn't say you increase the number of clients. You can increase your quantity, the quantity sold, by two ways. You can, yes, have more clients, but you can also get your current clients to buy more. And it's always cheaper to retain a client rather than get new clients all the time. So increase prices, decrease costs, increase sales. So this is just knowledge. I'm not necessarily saying this is how you do it, this is how you do it. That's for another talk. But you need to understand that this is the three ways that you can increase your profits. And sometimes, it's hard. You can't really increase your prices, or you can't decrease your costs. But, sometimes these are blessings in disguise as well. Connection. You need to know where your partners are. So networking, being part of a chamber of commerce, or just any really network that you have, is important. But you need to know that your network is not external to your company all the time. So you have an operational network that is inside your company, the people you are working with, right? So that's literally your team, your organogram, your team. But your suppliers, so people that give you the raw material to create your product, or the people who are actually giving you their time to create your service, your distributors, your clients. This is inside the company. This is internal. So you need to have connections, relationships with these people. Good relationships. Like, so customer service needs to be top notch. When any client at any time, by any means, like whether it's in a Instagram DM, whether it's in a phone, whether it's an SMS, whether it's an email, they need to feel like, the way the new team of Cristiano Ronaldo is treating him, that's how you need to treat your clients. Like, literally, they need to feel, oh my God, I am the king and I am the queen. That goes for your staff. That goes for you, because, hey, they can't treat your client like a king if they're not comfortable. If they don't feel like I am exactly where I need to be and people value me and I'm respected. If they don't feel like that, they become grumpy. And when the client calls, they give grumpy service. So that's why it's really important to understand that you need to cultivate good relationships throughout the whole organization, the whole company. Of course, with the client, yes, but the whole thing. Your suppliers, people who are selling your, the people who are doing transport for you, etc. You also have your personal network, a mentor, a coach, family, friends that, of course, you can, I'm not saying you're gonna take business advice from them, but you can take regular advice from them and apply them to your businesses. So these are people that you need, like in terms of support system, because the life of an entrepreneur is never easy. The life of an entrepreneur whew, uh, is stressful, and like everything is on your shoulders. You need to make the right decisions all the time. People look for you to make the right decisions. So sometimes you need to talk to a coach, you need to talk to a mentor, you need to talk to a family member, and just to, you need that support system that's gonna get you going. They don't have to be involved in the business. You don't need to ask them if you should order 5 or 500, because they're not running, they're not entrepreneurs, etc. But you can tell them that you're tired, for example, and you can go out and take a drink with them, etc. But the most important thing is really your strategic network. Your key partners, people who are investing in your business with you, people who can give you discounts when you, because your business is a repeat customer for them. So I'm talking about B2B connections, right? Investors, advisors. For Lori, for example, I'm sure you can create something with that restaurant, with that Haitian restaurant. A promo something, right? Maybe if maybe you can give coupons to that restaurant for your repeat buyers in the store, and vice versa. Maybe they can give a 5% discount to people who come to their stores, or who come to the restaurant all the time. I'm pretty sure you can create a strategic partnership. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be a co-branded, but it could be just a little something to show that level of community, right? So it's up to you to design that, and you just ask yourself, the way the way you create strategic partnerships is you ask yourself, what do I have that could benefit them, and what do they have that I want? And then everything has to be win-win. That's literally the only thing. That's the only requirement. As long as it's win-win, people will be open for it. It's if it's your idea, of course, you need to be convincing, show that you're serious. If you have to create a little presentation deck that you need to, just to say, hey, I noticed that you had this and you had that, and I think my business could offer you this and that. What do you think if we could create a little joint advertisement, promo, etc., so that we can, benefit from each other's presence? That's it. And because most of the time, you saying that you're the only market in the area, I bet you they're not the only restaurant. They might be the only Haitian restaurant, but I bet you they're not the only restaurant. So they may have competition, and two businesses are always better than one if the people have the necessary strategy to actually make it work. So the reason why I always focus on strategic networking is because all the big companies do it, and you can't really survive on your own, especially when you're first starting and you're just like, ask yourself, and there's this strategy, the diamond ring strategy, that my mentor in Iowa taught me. The first person who knows when a wedding is about to go down is the guy who's selling the diamond rings. Before the priest knows, they they know. So always ask yourself, who is my diamond ring guy? So the diamond ring strategy is always to be in connection with someone who's going to know something ahead of my competition. And especially you guys in real estate, who can tell you when someone is planning on buying a house? right? So there's so many strategies that you guys can use to actually get ahead of your competition, but as well as get ahead of your client. You need to, in order to anticipate, like I said, before you find them, you need to know where they hang, what they want. So sometimes it's connecting with someone who already has that information in order to get it. So that's for the connection part. It's getting a little late, so I'm not necessarily going to do a roundtable about connections, but I'm pretty sure that you guys are doing great job at in your operational network. You're being nice to your clients and your staff. I'm pretty sure I'm not your only business coach, so you already have like other people in your life that give you good advice and counsel. But I'm also pretty sure that your strategic network is not necessarily on point. So let's make 2023 that year where we say, hey, who can I partner with? What do I have that, I'm going to take another example. Let's say Joanne decides, I want to go with the meal prep, Edwin. I know you said that it's very time consuming and energy consuming, but this is my passion. That's what I want to do. So meal prep it is. Instead of buying all your food randomly at like different stores and stuff, if you have an actual number, you know that every month you're gonna have at least 100 orders. And let's say you use a lot of, I don't know, you do guacamole, so you use a lot of avocados. If you can connect with a person who sells avocados, you can tell them, hey, I will have 100 orders every month. So that's a guaranteed purchase from you. And their benefit in giving you a discount is that certainty. Like, at least I know that I'm going to get it. So you ask for a discount in exchange for, you become basically a subscriber instead of having the same price that is probably going to be more expensive at different areas, etc. So this is just an example that, you can replace avocado by anything. So just start asking yourself, what entity can I partner with in terms of strategic networking? And last but not least, competence. Like, what's your game plan? Like, you need to know, as an entrepreneur, you need to know, what am I going to do? What actions am I going to take? And what knowledge do I need in order to make that happen? You've heard of the dreadful marketing plan. And, these are sold, they're pretty pricey, I have to say. And it may sound daunting to a lot of you. Like, oh my God, like, I don't know anything about marketing. How am I going to do a marketing plan, etc.? But really, a marketing plan is 3 steps. How do I get clients? I mean, literally, how do I get clients? Once I get clients, once I identify them, how do I talk to them? How do I make them mine? And once I have those, they make the purchase, how do I treat them? Marketing plan. So it's literally lead generation. How do I generate leads? How do I turn someone who doesn't know my business exists, never had any relationship with me, how do I turn them into a lead? So when they know anything, they don't know anything about you, but you want them to buy from you, they're a prospect. That's the word. So they're in that red category. So it's the before. So they're just a prospect. But once they become aware of you, they see an ad, a friend talks about you, etc., then they become a lead. So that's the second part, the yellow part. They're a lead. But the lead is not necessarily someone who purchases, right? So the lead is the person that you're going to nurture, give them nice stories, a nice experience, etc. And then they will buy. And even after they buy, don't let them go. I mean, that's the green part. That's the most important part. Like letting them go right after they buy is the biggest mistake you can make. Because the most important part is the after. How do I make them coming back? Like Rick Ross. I keep them coming back. So it's really important that after they buy, you have something in place as well to make them keep coming back. Now, before I even start, like go over the before, during, after, sometimes it's hard for entrepreneurs to keep them coming back because, well, I just sold them a logo. Am I gonna sell them another logo? Like, how do I keep them coming back? Like, how does that even work? I just sold them a house. How do I sell them another house? Well, real entrepreneurs and real businesses, they have something called an ATM, an ascending transactional model. First, they buy this, and then I already have another product and service that they can buy as well. And even after they buy this one, I have another one right after. Cars, like auto dealers do that all the time. Yeah, you just bought a Lamborghini. That's cool. I bet you need insurance now. So they don't let the client go elsewhere. No, we have that insurance right here. You buy the Lambo and there's insurance like right there. You can just get it. Boom. One spot shop. So you need to understand that no business survives with one product. No business survives with one service. They need to understand that this is who my client is right now. This is how I'm gonna satisfy them right now, but this is how I'm gonna satisfy them in the future. So if you're selling houses, what do you think people need after they just buy a house? Movers. So are you really gonna let them use another service rather than get in with a strategic partner and be like, look, here's the deal. I'm giving you that house, and there's inside the package, inside the deal, we get to move it. And all you have to do is, you mark it up in order so that your strategic partner can get paid as well. So that's just an example. I'm not saying that's how you proceed, but I'm just telling you that it's really important to have that ATM, ascending transactional model. Right after the person buys a service and product, there's already something else waiting for them. So let's go through the one-page marketing plan. So before is, of course, it's customer management. We just said in the connaissance part. Who is my target market? Who are they? And when I say who are they, oh my God, I need all types of information. Of course, demographics, what age they are, income level, geographic. Yeah. So yeah, we know all that. But we need psychographics as well. How do they think? What do they want? What are their pain points? What are their favorite colors? Like who are their favorite actors? You need to know as much as possible about who these people are in order to be able to become their friends, right? And so you know what language to talk to them. And that was number one, my target market. Number two is my message to my target market. If I don't know how they talk, how they think, will I know how to write an effective message for them? I don't think so. So it's really important to do that client research, client customer discovery, and then you have information, and then you you craft your messages in a way that it's gonna resound to your customer. And I feel like this is the part where it's, for the people who don't have a lot of clients, this is where you don't know what to say. You don't know what to tell them. You don't know where to start because sometimes you're such an expert, and you have all this industry jargon and terminology, and that's people don't talk like that. People don't understand neurosurgery, right? So you need to be able to use terms that they understand, and you need to speak their language. So you define your target market, you define your message to your market, to your target market, and then you decide the media you will use to actually reach it. And if you don't know where they hang out, then you won't know what to write in this one either. If you think just because TikTok is popping, that you're gonna create a TikTok account and then you're gonna start popping too, well, it depends. Are your customers on TikTok? So it's really not about using all the possible media that you can use. It's really being where you need to be. And I'm not saying, and I'm saying that, but I'm not saying you can skip having a social media presence. You need to have at least one platform that you choose, because it's people will look for you anyway. People are not going to be convinced if they don't find that you have a social media presence. It doesn't mean that you have to do it like everybody else is doing it, but you need to have that minimum, right? So if you don't have that information of who your target market is, then you can't choose the media you will use to target them. Radio, TV, social media, events, fairs. I'm pretty sure for Louis, your target market is they go to that restaurant. So that's where you need to start creating a little bit of presence. Not the owners need to know only, but the people who go need to be able to see you. So maybe a sign, maybe a flyer, maybe a brochure. Of course you ask for permission, but that's one way, right? So once you have that before part, oh my God, once you have that before part, this is I would say the brand awareness. This is how you make people become aware of your business, of your services, of your existence, etc. This is the top of the funnel. It's there to attract new clients. And then there's the during part. That client who saw that ad, who saw that message, who saw that anything, how will you, because you sent a message in the world, right? Thousands of people saw it, hopefully. How do you differentiate that person who got the message and who could become a potential client from the others? You need to capture them. Email addresses, please. This is the king of marketing. You get someone's email address, you're in business. So right now you could evaluate how much of a successful business you are. Just open your Excel sheet that has the list of your clients and there, as well as their email addresses, and count them. There's this a sentence my mentor used to tell me: every email address is worth $1 at least. So if you have 1,000 email addresses, that's already $1,000 at least. So you need a system that gathers email addresses. So that is the number 4. What is your lead capture system? You need to figure that out. And then once you get that lead, you have that email address, you need to nurture that lead. So send in like email sequences. And these things can be automated. You don't have to sit in front of a computer and like Joshua just signed up to your email newsletter, and then you're sending one email to Joshua specifically. No, you can send one email to your 1,000 email addresses all at once, and it's part of your lead nurturing system, right? Now, after I nurture them, like, of course, you decide how many emails, how many calls, how many, every business is different in that way, but the same framework remains. But after you've sent those 5 emails, etc., then, and that person has shown interest, then you can like, what is my sales conversion strategy? How do I now, like everything before was selling, was marketing. Now, can I kick in the sales part where it's a little bit more negotiation, more convincing, more pleading? And maybe that's not you doing that. Maybe that's a salesperson that you hire because they already have that skill of negotiating and calling people and telling them, yes, you had a product in your cart, but you haven't finished your purchase. How can we help you? Etc. So what this is showing me is that there's two different type of people, right? There are people who are used to sales, like, and they go directly, hey, buy my house. And there are people who are used to marketing and they market all their lives without ever switching to sales mode. So it's really important to understand that it doesn't start with the sale. Nobody buys on the first date. Nobody like accepts to marry you on the first date. So there's needs a little bit of marketing. They know about you. They go read your reviews, so this is all part of nurturing and stuff. They get to know you. They have experiences with you. And then you go in sales mode, like get on your knees, pop that ring. So that's your sales conversion strategy. And after they buy, and that's where most marriages fail, after they buy, then comes that nurturing, like how do I deliver a world-class experience? Yes, the person bought. I have their credit card information, they made the purchase, and I'm about to ship. How can I show that I'm creative by making the wrapping paper very different? So this is those customer captivity things that I'm saying. Because yeah, they bought, but if they just get the product and it's just like any other company, then next time maybe they won't even go back to you. They will just get it from the closest, cheapest, etc. But if the way you're delivering the service is creative, it's like oh, I like that. Let's do that again. So the green part, like I said, is even more important than the yellow part. So how do I deliver a world-class experience? You need to, have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strategies and tactics to really make sure that I'm gonna give this customer a very memorable experience. Number 8, how do I increase customer lifetime value? That's what I was talking about. Customer lifetime value is how many times the person is gonna buy from you in their lifetime. So don't ever think per sale, like, yeah, I just sold 70 people just bought from me. And then you're cool, you're comfortable. No. How many of those 70 people are gonna buy again? And what are they gonna buy in your ATM? Ascending transactional model, right? So I just sold them, I don't know, a toothbrush or a razor. How many of them are gonna like buy the actual toothpaste? How many of them are gonna come back to me for something else that is part of my ATM? So you need to define that. How do I increase that customer lifetime value? And then number 9, how I orchestrate and stimulate referrals. Yes, I love that word, orchestrate. There's nothing is left to chance in business. Things don't happen to you. If things happen to you, you're not an entrepreneur. You make things happen. You grab the bull by the horn. Another reference at Michael Jordan. So it's really important that you design your business. You design how you're gonna find your clients. You design how you're gonna make them fall in love with you. You design how you're gonna make them tell their friends. You can't leave that to chance. So when you have all those 9 quadrants, that's your marketing plan for the year 2023. So the next time we talk, I'm going to, just like homework, man, I'm going to review who is the target market of everyone. What is their message to, what is your message to your customers? How will that message get across them? And you can use anything you want, pigeons, everything. your lead capture system. How are you going to capture leads? And once you get those leads, how are you going to nurture them, make them fall in love with you, convince them that you're the right one for them? How are you going to make them buy? After they buy, what's going to make your delivery or service world-class and out of this world? How are you going to get them to buy again? How are you going to increase your their customer lifetime value? And last but not least, how will you get them to stimulate referrals? That was it. I thank you for choosing me for this workshop. But I also really thank you for making all these things, like using these things, like, and applying them, right? Because like I said, like, you could read about entrepreneurship all your life and never make $1. Same with dancing and everything else. So I'm really thanking you for not only being here just because you want to learn, but really because you want to apply. So in terms of homework, I don't think there's a lot of homework. Is finding your keys, but this, for me, this is the most important part, because I want to know that everybody in this group has a marketing plan, and that is not a 50, 60, 20, like 120 page. It's a 1-page marketing plan. And, you know, that's why I set it up real easy, real quick. And then you can, like, at a glance, anybody in your staff, any employee, any salesperson that you hire can, like, oh, that's what I need to do. Yeah, that's what you need to do. Boom, let's go. So that's really the most important part for me, that everybody has a marketing plan for 2023. So thanks again. I will open now for questions and feedback. And questions and feedback, I'm not doing the whole round table. Everybody can just raise their hands or open their mics directly.
A pretty good presentation. I enjoyed it. And I got a lot from it.
Thank you, Pedro. Anyone else? No questions? Not even on the marketing plan?
I just want to say it was a great presentation as well. So thank you for the feedback and the guidance and the homework.
All right, thank you. Well, when, like, in Haiti, there's a saying that when there's no question, it means the teacher failed. So that's kind of like how I'm seeing it now, because if there's no question, then that means I felt like in a certain way to convey certain things.
For me,
So,
I'm processing everything that you said. So I don't really have a question, but I'm just kind of like soaking it, you know, kind of processing and trying to see how I can apply it to my situation. So it's like I have questions, but I don't really know what to ask. So I need to go do the homework. And then
I guess.
that's my questions.
All right, perfect. Okay, so we do this every month. Unfortunately, the bandwidth was a little bit low. We do this every month. So I want it to be personal. And again, it really comes back to learning versus applying. I don't want to have 12 sessions of teaching a bunch of like concepts that are not going to be applied. At my age, at your age, yeah, I don't see the relevancy of that. I really think what matters is that these things are applied and like implemented in your businesses. And just in case you don't believe in them and you have to wait in order to get the results, there's a lot of testimonials, and like this is like a science, right? At this point, it's not really opinion. So, and again, I said like these tools, I didn't invent them. So it's really like a curation work from all the strategy agencies in the world, like the McKinsey's, etc. So just do it. Do the homework. Like you know what? You don't even have to believe in it. Just do it, and we'll see we'll see the result. So that's what I wanted to add. And so next month we will have month 2, which will look a little back on this session right here, but as well as something else. So the next so the next coaching session is on February 1st. So you guys can register for the next session, and as well as if you guys want office hours, meaning I don't know, you think you need my help specifically on your business, you think you need uh, better understanding of the keys, or maybe you don't need any of these 3 keys. You figured out that there are 2 other keys that you want, and you don't necessarily know how to get them, and you would like my strategic thinking on that. You guys can also book office hours. Same for your marketing plan. You don't necessarily have expertise and experience in marketing. So once you have something, because I don't look at empty sheets. There needs to have something. I need to see that there was some research and some effort. So if you guys have something, but you still would want to review it before February 1st, you can still go through that same link and book office hours with me. And I would, that's what I do. It would be definitely my pleasure. And, another thing, I'm very a little competitive. So whenever a new business comes in and with new challenges, that gets me fired up a bit. So don't feel any type of way. If you really want help in your business, I would be like, I love new challenges. I'm a problem solver at heart. I love to solve problems. So this is an asset that is at your disposition. I was born to teach. I was born to help. So don't hesitate if you really need something. I'm definitely available through, of course, the connection of Gaki. So Ronald, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add before we wrap up, but I really wanted to make sure that everybody understood the process and how we're going to do this.
Sure, Edwin. Thank you very much. This was very insightful. I'm hoping everybody got something from it. Don't really have much to add, but I do want to just let everybody know that yes, February 1st is when the next session will be. Office hours, we'll publish those soon. We don't have them right now for the weeks in between, but I just want to confirm, we're going to confirm the hours with Edwin probably within the next day or so, and then send them out to you all just in case you want to meet with him, in between the weeks leading up to February 1st. So that'll be, you should get that very soon via email if you registered. And if you haven't gone to the Chamber's website yet to kind of check out everything else, make sure you do that. We did just put a link in the chat. And if you haven't become a member yet, there's an opportunity for you to do that as well by going to the website. And if there's anything that we can do for you outside of this, or that any questions that you have as far as the Chamber or what we can help you with, or any resources in general, feel free to shoot me an email as well. Other than that, Dr. Edwin, really good job. Enjoyed it as usual. And I'm looking forward to really seeing all of the businesses here flourish over the next couple of months. And I'm thinking we need to create an accountability group, but that's another conversation for another time. We'll see how that works out.
No, my pleasure, man.
I do have questions, but I scheduled a one-on-one coaching for 8:30, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be receiving another link or.
No, you can stay on this one, and everybody else will
Okay.
pretty much fall out. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's it for me. Edwin, I'll let you wrap it up.
All right, no problem. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty wrapped up as it is. I think we should just stop recording, and maybe we like let everybody go. I think we should let everybody go, and because it's 8:30, and now it's only 8, so we can